But I just think, I mean, this is a fucked up thing. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but I really think we all collectively, as a species, need to emphasize and learn how to be nicer to each other. Nobody teaches you that. It's rare. They teach it to you in school, be nice. When you go to offices, there's certain standards of behavior that you're supposed to behave in, but there's not like an emphasis on kindness and just being friendly. And I think that doesn't diminish competition. Right. Like, you could be friendly and kind to people that you're competing with as hard as you can. That is also a thing that you find in jiu-jitsu. Guys who are just trying to kill each other all the time are like really close friends. Yeah. Really close. And, very competitive. Like, motherfucker, I'm getting you tonight. No, bitch, you're not. Right. Like that kind of shit. But friendly. Well, because there's a safety, because there's rules. Yes. And in the workplace, the rules are much more nebulous. And what you do to get ahead, kissing a boss's ass, sabotaging a project, is that part of competitive, or is that over the line? Whereas with jiu-jitsu, you'll get called on a foul. Yeah, sabotaging a project. God. Imagine working with somebody and they're sabotaging what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Go to the boss and talking shit behind your back about your project and what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. That's one of the most soul-sucking things about jobs, the fakeness. Yeah. The office banter nonsense, fakeness. I just think as a species, just the human race, especially us as Americans, because we're so goddamn competitive, gotta learn how to be nicer. I think it starts with manners. I think it starts with, as a parent, manners, they seem trivial, but it creates the paradigm for nice. Yeah. Just thank you, please, hold a door, don't eat until everybody's served their food. They're all little signals to people that you care about them and respect them. Yeah. And I think it spills over and it informs your other actions when you have good manners. Right. Look people in the eye. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, be polite. And when people do that to you, you get a good feeling. When someone holds open the door for you or someone says thank you. Like, I said hi to some guy the other day. I was walking by him in the hallway of a hotel. I go, "How you doing, man?" And he just stared at me. And immediately I was like, what? I was angry. Yeah. Immediately, like, part of my instinct was like, fuck you, man. Yeah. And then part of me was like, that poor bastard. Right. And I went with that poor bastard. Like, oh, that's his life. Right. I just said hi. Right. I'm just trying to be nice. Yeah. But he looked at me like I was, almost like I was weak for saying hi to him. Right. Like, I was raised to like if I see somebody with bags, I help them, and it makes me feel fucking great. Yeah, it feels good to help people. Yeah. It really does. And I think I was raised, and that's the thing about being raised Catholic, because I was raised very Catholic. Were you raised Catholic? I was raised Catholic till first grade. After first grade, we kind of abandoned it. Yeah. But even up until then, it gives you a lot of, it's a life of service. Yeah. It's very much about helping people. It's very much, you can say what you want about the Catholics, but, they were in the trenches in a lot of third world countries, nuns, and, they did a lot of good. Yeah. And I think that rubbed off on me. My parents both always did a lot of charity work. I do a lot of charity work with my kids, and, that's going to stay with them. I think we throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to religion. And even just rigid ideologies. I think there's something about religion that can absolutely help some people, and there's aspects of it that are very beneficial. Having that code to live by, even if it's because of the fucking spaghetti monster in the sky, like whatever it is that you believe. But if you really act like that thing is watching over you, and that there's codes and tenets that you have to live by, like, most of the tenets of Christianity, if you look at them, if you really follow Jesus' rule, which most people don't, but if you really did, you'd be doing a lot of great work. You'd be helping people. You'd be treating each other as if they were your brothers and sisters. The neediest. that's who Jesus helped. He helped the beggars in the street and the prostitutes. And, that was some hardcore shit he was doing back then. Yep. And, I think it's like the 10 Commandments. You can live by, 8 of them. 8 of them are pretty good to live by. I'm still going to covet my neighbor's wife. Covet. She's fucking hot. Do you know what that was about, though? It wasn't about that. What was it? About your neighbor's wife. She was possession. She was covet. Like, she was a possession of the neighbor. Oh. Like, he owned her. Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. And the same thing stood for the commandment, if you really read it, says, do not covet thy neighbor's wife or thy neighbor's slave. Is it slave?
Slave.
I thought it was donkey.
I think it's donkey and slave.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, don't try to steal their slave.
You can keep slaves, just don't want them from your neighbor.
It's just so obvious that what they were talking about back then was all wrapped around the way people thought about things then.
Yeah.
You know? But they knew even then, even thousands of years ago, they knew there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. When you pick up the people's bags, you feel good. Let's tell kids that. Yeah. Let's teach people that. You pick up the bags, you feel good. You hold the door open, you feel good. You help someone, you feel good. Like, okay, this is obviously, we all want to feel good, right? How do we feel? Like, there's moments in my life where I feel terrible, where I've done something wrong, or I've fucked up something, or just failed, and I just feel terrible. And I always think, when I do have that feeling, like, God, I fucking hate this feeling. Why can't I feel great? Why can't I just feel awesome right now? Well, because it didn't go well. And this is like the psychic reminder. This is that jolt of energy that's letting you know, like, hey, you went on a wrong path. You fucked up. You tanked this. You crashed that. You did wrong. Like, you're supposed to feel like shit,
right,
so that you don't do it again.
Yeah.
But conversely, when something good happens, when you help someone, when someone can't get their bag in the overhead because it's too heavy, and you help them and you hand it to them, they smile at you and you smile at them, you walk off the plane, you feel good. Mm-hmm. You feel good. You got to teach that too. Like, you have to remember that, and you have to go, why do I feel so good? Oh, I felt so good because I helped that lady.
Yeah.
You know, I felt so good because I said hi to that guy, and that guy said hi to me back, and we looked at each other and go, you know, made some niceties or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's part of the joy of life, right, is those friendly, fun, nice interactions with people. But when you got your shit in order, it's easier to have those experiences. When you don't, my personal experience, when I don't have my shit in order and I've made mistakes and I fucked something up, it's very hard for me to enjoy anything.
Yeah.
I just go through the motions. I feel like, oh, if I have something that I fucked up, and then I have that terrible feeling, but I have to hang out with my family and my kids, I just ride it out. Mm-hmm. I just have to ride it out. I try to be real friendly and real sweet, but I don't feel good inside. I feel terrible. And I go, well, this is going to go away with contemplation, with understanding. This feeling's going to go away, but you got to ride it out, you know? And I know I can ride it out because I've wrote it out before.
Yeah.
But for some people, man, they don't know what to do there.
Right.
They don't know what that feeling is. They feel like this is their life, and then that feeling, if you don't conquer it, you get comfortable with it. You get used to it. You get used to failing. You get used to that terrible feeling, and then you start pouring booze on that terrible feeling.
Right.
Or pouring drugs or whatever.
Well, it also becomes like, I was in therapy, and I remember the therapist told me that we all have a narrative of our lives, and you can choose that narrative. It's that fucking simple. That's basically what behavioral therapy tells you, is that it's all a projection. Everything in your life is a projection. You know, you say, I have these attributes, I've accomplished these things, or you can say, I lack these things and I fucked up these things. And you can live your life putting that energy out to people, and it's as simple as just literally sitting down and thinking about how you want to see yourself, and just keep reminding yourself of that, and you'll start to live it. I mean, this sounds so fucking hokey and oversimplified,
but it's real. Yeah.
And part of the downside of religion is that I was raised with a lot of shame and guilt. And so those periods you're talking about where you fucked up and you're feeling bad and you got to ride it out, you throw shame on top of that, and it extends it and it makes it more profound. And it's not just about your action and how it might have affected other people. It's about original sin, you know, heavy original sin shit. Garden of Eden, we're evil, you know, we're dirty, we need to confess, we need to be cleansed. Throw all that on top of a simple mistake, and it makes it complicated.
Hey there. If you're enjoying our content, show some love. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned for more. Let's build something awesome together. Subscribe for more now.